Hello everyone, this is Nathan with RCMPAL, and today I'm going to go over entering in a procedure code in the system. There are several different ways to do this, and the system's flexible enough to allow different users to enter things differently. So let's take a look first at some of the existing procedure codes we have in. Now the ID itself is the ID for the field. Sometimes people use the ID to be the CPT code, but it doesn't have to be. So say you want to do an exercise stress echo or an ESC, and that's like 3 or 4 different codes. You can set this up so the ID here is an ESC, and you can set it up in groups, and we'll go over this in another tutorial in more detail, and have groups of procedure codes listed here. This won't make sense because of what these procedure codes are, but so you can list a group of procedure codes, and then anytime somebody enters in 99211, it will throw all these procedure codes on. Like I said, it doesn't make sense for this particular example, but it is an option to do groups and to use the ID to drive them. So this is the ID. It's not the procedure code itself. It's not the code that goes on the claim. This is a description, generally a brief description. Sometimes they can get a little lengthy, but you do have the option to search by description with the has. So sometimes it's helpful if say different doctors in the practice refer to them differently to throw in their short codes, LVL2 or Office 1, Office 2. So then the coder can enter just Office 1 and see which code the provider might be talking about. National drug code goes here. Units conversion factor. Some of the fields are fairly self-explanatory. Unit of measure, unit price. If you want to do an age range for each procedure code, some codes maybe are just for people that are between the ages of 2 and 5 or something like that. Gender limit. Some procedure codes are gender specific, and you could more tighten down the charge rules with these as well. You can do a classification for the procedure code, and that helps with reporting. The RVUs currently is just a straight unit. It's not broken down into the additional 3. There are plans to change that in the future. Non-specific. This is where you would indicate if the procedure code is a generic or a non-specific code. That it's important in claims processing for the system to know if it's non-specific and if it should put in the additional description field. So these coding types. So let's see, we have default. Let's see, this is a default or a demo system, but we have different coding types. So Medicare, say Medicare wants to see a different code. Medicare, like with the console codes or something like that, Medicare wants to see 99210. They don't recognize 99211, so then you handle that here. And that is how we handle the console codes. You can end up making 2. The console code can point to Medicare and point to a non-console code, and then the non-console code can point to Medicare and point to the non-console code. So the system is very flexible in that manner. And same thing with fee schedules. You can tie these fee schedules to insurance companies. So like this Medicare fee schedule is tied in the insurance table, and we'll go over this at a later time, but it's tied in the insurance table here to the Medicare fee schedule. So whenever somebody with Medicare insurance comes in and we enter in this code 99211, it'll pull this fee. And then if it was work comp, and you can customize these. Auto, maybe we don't have auto in here. No, so let's add it. Auto. So now we added auto. Say auto's 55 bucks. If copay is something that applies, you click here, and that means that somebody can apply a copay to this procedure line. So again, there's procedure groups. We'll go over that in more detail at a later time. Coding schedule overrides, and we'll go over that too as well at a later time. This is just a generic overview of entering in a procedure code. Fee schedule overrides in different situations. And then procedure/facility claim coding schedules. If, say, you need to charge something, enter a procedure code different based on the facility that it was done at. So, system's very flexible. This is just a generic overview of entering a procedure code to get you up and running. My name is Nathan. My email is nathan@rcmpal.com. Let me know if you like what you see or if you have any questions.